Hey, y'all! I don't know why I wanted to start like that. But, I just want to say this. Because I'm seeing a lot of things out there. And I have to, comment. Well, I don't have to. I want to. Yo, CERN. Who the fuck cares about CERN? CERN, July 5th, no big deal. What is a big deal is concerning yourself with listening to yourself, with following your own path. And it seems like a simple message. It's like, oh, well, that goes without saying. Follow my own path. What's up, July? It seems like a very simple message. Why wouldn't we follow our own path? But we're inundated. And, what's the other word? Inundated constantly with information, right? Oh, think about this like this. Think about that like that. Do this. Don't do that. Don't do that after 10 p.m. Do that before 11 p.m. All this sort of shit, right? And even in the, so to say, conscious community, I've been seeing a lot about CERN and July 5th. And, okay, these may or may not be things that are happening. But at the end of the day, what does that to do with you? What do you say? What say ye? What say you about whatever the fuck? Just because someone posted on Instagram, even me, you don't necessarily need to believe it. You don't necessarily need to concern yourself with it. And as an occultist, and a proud occultist, I take 98% of the things I read, the things I see, with a grain of salt. If it further helps me on my journey, great. If it doesn't do anything for me, it doesn't do anything for me. So all I ask, and this is on you, all I ask is that if you see certain things out there, especially from a so-called spiritual teacher, occult teacher, etc., just, run it through your own computing system and see if it even makes sense. I have a certain issue where it's like, when I see these people who are like conscious teachers, and whenever I see their posts, it's just about something that's just, yo, look what they're doing. Look what happens. And it's like, very rarely is it like, yo, here are some practical things you can do. Do you know how to set up your altar? Do you know how to do this? Right? Like, here's how you work on your mind, because isn't the mind all? The mind is all. So the mind is all, then I'm not concerned at what Babylon is doing. I'm not concerned about what Zion is doing, because I'm concerned about what I'm doing. Did I wake up and meditate? Did I wake up and do qigong? Did I do a ritual for the new moon? That's what I'm fucking concerned about. So all the other shit, it's all hogwash, it's all pig shampoo, and this is a plea from Posh Gibson to not buy in. But whatever, you can do what you want to do. Peace to Olu, peace to Kion. Appreciate you, love you. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff about this weekend, about CERN, about July 5th. Dog days, I was learning about that the other day. The portal's open, etc. But at the end of the day, it's all what your mind determines is real. It's all what your mind determines is reality. If I don't believe shrimp are a thing, and I truly don't believe it, then shrimp won't be a thing in my reality. And this goes for so many different things. You know it, Olu. So it just, I always, it's funny, I've come in sort of a circle where it's like, I was, Mr. Social Worker for a while, I was Mr. Community for a while, and then the further I've gone on my journey, and now I'm more like, yo, what are you doing? Like, let's put the community aside for a second. It doesn't mean people shouldn't do things for the community, but let's just put it aside and let's focus on you right now. What did you do today to, continue your sacred journey? Did you do something uncomfortable? Like, oh, today, I'm gonna go a hike. I haven't been on that hike, but, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Did you do it today? These are the questions, and again, what Babylon is doing, what Zion is doing, what the government's doing, what politicians are doing, what corporations are doing, have no bearing on whether you choose to meditate or not today. It has no bearing on whether you did a ritual last night. It has no bearing on whether you did your tarot or whatever practice you do for occulted spiritual living, that shit has no bearing on it. It has no influence on it. It's just, the more you tune into it, the more you're going to want to watch that program. Like every once in a while, I turn on not the actual TV, but like the TV of media. And I'm like, oh, what niggas doing over there? Like, oh, okay, that's what they're talking about? Interesting. Anyways, I'll go back over to, my underground occult work that I've been doing, I just really try to focus the least I can on this reality. Enough to get by, work, fill my car with gas and shit like that. I try to focus the least amount on that stuff. And try to focus the most on understanding myself, knowledge of self, knowing what I'm about, because that's my main job here, is to know what I'm about, know what I'm doing. Why do I react to that in a certain way? Why do I like this? Why don't I like that? What's that about? Why do I even want to do a video right now? I want to do a video because I see a lot of bullshit out there. And you could listen to this video and think it's bullshit too. And it goes round and round, further in a circle. But the point is, the point I'm trying to make is, it's just, what do you believe? What does your intuition tell you? I don't care what your friend tell you, your mama told you, your grandpappy, the guy who works at the diner, your best friends, your best coworker. I don't care what any of them have to say. What do you say? What do you determine? What's your idea? What's your thoughts about that situation? What's your thoughts about reality? I was listening to Alan Watts the other day, and he was making a point about a shaman, going out into the woods, because if you can't, well, it's very difficult to determine all that sort of stuff about yourself when you're around other people. This is why, you go up to the mountains, you go disappear, you go over here, because people will be in your ear, and you'll be digesting all that information. And it doesn't mean it's not great information. It doesn't mean it's not wonderful things for you to consider. But then the things that you need to consider that come up in your consciousness, those get pushed aside, because it's like, oh, well, Sally told me about this new way to grill onions, so now I'm focused on grilling onions. Where, before that, you're focused on well, what is my desire in this reality? So I just wanted to say all that. I was going to do a later video when I got back home, but I felt the mood strike me, and so here I am. But yeah, just who knows? Maybe on July 5th, the world will explode due to the Hadron Collider doing double its load on July 5th. Well, if you're doing occult spiritual work, that shit shouldn't really matter to you, frankly. Because you're already preparing on other shit, not this reality. So it's like, oh, okay. That happened? All right, well, I was prepared. That didn't happen? Well, I'm still prepared. So, that's all I'm trying to say. So, don't let the fear get to you. Don't let the fear drive your behavior, because it will. Well, that's the biggest thing I'm working to undo, my fear. It's like, what? What do I fear in this situation, But that's why I'm working to unpack. That's why I'm working to learn in terms of my knowledge of self, where my fear comes from. Where is it generated from? What triggers it? Because there's lots of situations where I don't feel fear. I just kind of just stroll into something and someone's like, I would never do that. But they could do something and we're like, I would never do that, And it's just all about the knowledge of self. That is our task. And then the knowledge of self combined with the alchemy of taking the shit we've been through and turning it into something, turning it into manure to grow flowers. That's it. So if you're not concerning yourself with those things, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't know what to tell you, but might want to look into those wonderful activities, get some knowledge of self, learn who the fuck you are, why you're here, and what your alchemy is, and what is hindering your heart from opening related to that alchemy. So, enjoy your independence from your bullshit day. That's what I'm going to start celebrating on July 4th. Independence from one's own bullshit. Right? That's it. So, I bid everybody adieu. It's Pop Skipson, signing off. And remember, master your transformations by mastering your transformations. Okay, I'm out. Enjoy the wonderful day. Peace!